Welcome to Oz After Dark. I am your host, Chasing Oz, and this is my best bitch, Tina.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, welcome. This afternoon we're going to be talking about our amazing adventure to Africa.
Crazy.
I can't believe that we went.
Danielle, I'm not even kidding. Like, there are times I think of it. I was telling my girls about it when they took me out to dinner last night. I feel like it was a dream because I can't fucking believe what we saw.
Dude, it was crazy. Like,
it was crazy.
First off, I almost didn't make it into the country.
Oh, those mother effers. Oh, no, thank you.
So we get off our plane, right? And our layover from Amsterdam to not Johannesburg, to Victoria Falls was Kenya. So our plane came from Kenya and landed in Zimbabwe, and everybody gets off the plane, and at the door, they are asking everybody for their yellow fever vaccines. Okay.
Which I didn't even get.
Nobody did because it's not required.
Correct.
So as to why they were asking people for said piece of documentation, our guides were even confused. And they ended up contacting the airport. They were like, ooh, this is what happened. They were very upset about that.
But you were totally targeted, Danielle. I mean, I feel like, listen, obviously we're not the quiet bunch, you and I, and
we're not.
We stand out just a touch. And they kept you behind that one glass and were not letting, and of course the time change, you were trying to get in touch with your husband to send you any info. It's freaking, what was it, 2 a.m?
It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, there was nobody. Not only that, but like I left my vaccine passport card in my actual wallet at home because I, just wanted to remember it so much. That's where I put it. And then I just didn't put it into my passport folio thing. We didn't even need it. I gave the guy $20 and magically everything went away.
Oh, they were pissed too because they wanted me to leave you. And I'm like, what's the deal? She doesn't come into Zimbabwe.
Like, no, we're a package deal.
We're a package deal. And she slipped some $20 and all of a sudden all the problems disappeared. But I will say, out of every human being that we ran across in Zimbabwe, that was the only time.
Yep.
Because I truly don't think I've ever met such incredibly kind,
honest,
loving,
trustworthy.
Honest. We got to tell you guys, well, I don't want to don't want to jump ahead, but there was a guy that got rolling papers that has its own story. But the amount of trustworthiness, this was a one-off situation. And when our guides found out, who are both residents and they've lived their whole lives in Zimbabwe, they lost their shit. They called the airport tearing them up. Yeah,
Victor knew somebody that worked there, and he was like, No. So after we got there and then finally got to our hotel, which is fine, we had our first accommodation was this amazing place. It was called Bayete. And it's in Victoria Falls, and it's gorgeous. The staff was amazing. So we get there, our room's ready. We put all of our shit in our room. What
was in our room that we got so excited about? What was in it?
A bathtub.
And?
Air conditioning. I was like, wait a second. What was I most excited for?
Well, I think because we had come from Costa Rica, where air conditioning is not a thing.
No air conditioning.
We assumed that in Africa there wouldn't be, even though it wasn't crazy hot there anyway. So it didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't horrible. But we were very excited.
The rooms were excited. Yeah.
Minus the mosquito netting that almost took me out habitually.
Hold on. I would like us to have a whole episode where I walk your fans through the Tasmanian devil scenarios that transpired with those mosquito netting. Guys, please don't ever approach her with a mosquito net. If you see her out in Florida or traveling, don't mention a mosquito net. Fucking look away. Stop talking. Because this chick
You
is
may be
tiny,
injured.
but holy shit, does she pack a punch? I
The one
literally
at
have
that second hotel didn't stand a chance.
that poor thing, and I was like, oh, we're going down. This is the night.
It shouldn't have hit me so many times. It should have minded its own goddamn business and stayed out of my way. But no.
And all joking aside, we didn't get bit by one fucking mosquito till the
No.
last goddamn night that we were
I
there.
was trying to have a party the last night. I finally was able to let my hair down.
Yes.
Everything was done. The trip was complete. Everybody survived with only one minor incident. No injuries, really. I mean, Tina's one of the only people that fell.
Oh my God, I came so close to making it the whole fucking trip. I was literally so pissed.
So close.
We were literally walking everywhere. We were in the bush of Africa. We were on safari, and I fucking fall randomly. Like I just don't understand.
So yeah, we met some of the most amazing humans, and I want to talk about some of them. So I think I'm just gonna go day by day.
That'd be awesome.
Charles at Bayete, he was my favorite. He worked in the restaurant. He was a G.
So this is where Weedy Wonka started.
Listen, we were at that hotel for like 30 minutes. This
Swear to
one
God,
orders.
I didn't even order. I think I had just
ordered a drink. Yeah.
We went to our room.
I didn't get a drink, and the guy was like, none for you. And I was like, no, I don't really drink. And, I just dropped a little casual comment into the conversation. And about 20 minutes later, we're in our room and
hold up. This is how it transpires. I'm sipping my fucking Sex on the Beach drink and I'm living my best life. And all of a sudden you hear, and I'm like, oh fuck, did we forget something? Like something's, because of course you're hosting the trip, so they have to ask you lots of questions. He shows up with, I don't know, a plethora.
5 dime bags
for like 20 cents. Like it was the most ridiculous transaction I've ever
I gave him a $20 bill and he tried to give me change. So I'm not sure what was happening, but I was like, no, keep it.
Now, what happened though, because I'd like to keep this conversation going, when you received said goodies, because it is decriminalized in Africa, so it's not a big deal to get it. And when you smoke it, they just don't want you to be like in front of a cop smoking it, right? Like that's pretty much all they're asking. But we didn't have rolling papers because the espresso martini that I spilled on said rolling papers, right? I fucked you right there.
Because I was in Amsterdam, I had a grinder, a roller. I had all the accessories I needed.
Except this bitch poured a ton of vodka on it. So no more rolling papers. So now I, as a bit of a newbie to different ways you can utilize the goods, she goes, we need a soda can. This is me. I'm like, for fucking what? Like, I don't want soda. Enjoying my drink. So
I was like, you got an apple?
And then an apple. Where do you want me to get an apple? We're not at a farm. We're in safari.
We're in the bush.
We're in the bush, bud. So we get the can. And she goes, do you have anything I can poke some holes in? I'm like, I don't know, I have tweezers. She becomes fucking MacGyver. I swear. God, I sat there, crisscross applesauce, sipping my drink, fascinated. I was like, this may be the best shit I've ever seen in my life. She proceeds to make a whole contraption up, and she's doing her thing. She turns to me and goes, do you want a hit? I go, I don't even know how one takes a hit from Sensu. How does one do it? So the cutest thing is one of the lovely women that were with us, people partake in different things. There's no right, wrong, whatever. She could tell we were those type. And she saw the can and it brought her flashbacks to her young life.
Like I'm back to high school.
Oh, she was the happiest bitch I've never seen. She's like, oh my God, I haven't done this in forever.
Welcome to a Chasing Oz Trova trip.
Yes. But even those that didn't partake, grab your drink, hang around.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was
Wonka.
That's how it was when we got there, and then we left and we went to Botswana, which was very scary, so we didn't, participate in any of that. I mean, it was scary enough just trying to get through the border, with shoes, and I mean,
I
I
know
don't
that
even
was
know
like
what the shoe
first
thing
time.
was.
Yeah, it was just to have that pop.
They were trying to get them not to come on our bus and open everybody's luggage because we had, like, a camper bus. So, like, we had, like, plates and, like, supplies for camping and stuff, and they just didn't want the whole thing to get torn apart because I guess Botswana exports meat to the EU. So, I guess their standards of what you can and can't bring in and out food-wise is a little bit stricter, so they were worried if we didn't go through with an extra pair of shoes in our hands after we had to step in this mucky
Oh, it was so
shoe
freaking
disinfecting thing.
gross.
Um,
Oh,
After we stepped in that, if we didn't have another pair of shoes, they would be like, "Well, who are all these tourists that don't have
yeah.
shoes?"
Who only travels with one pair?
One pair, yeah. So, I don't know, but it he still came on our bus,
He
so
scared the shit out of me. And listen, I wasn't scared one time. Well,
mm-mm.
except for like the times that the lions were 4 inches away from us. That's a different story. But
Yeah,
the the military and the powers that be in
security and
Botswana,
stuff, yeah.
as my dog is putting his hand on my tit. That was nice. So King, maybe we don't do that. So,
Maybe not. He's like, "Excuse me."
but I
You're
felt safe with our guides.
Oh, yeah.
I loved Botswana. Don't get me wrong, and the safari we
The
did.
safari was my favorite in Botswana
Holy shit!
at
Like
Chobe.
epic, crazy. But I can tell you that if I had to go rock, paper, scissors on which country I would go to again, I fell in love with Zimbabwe.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
absolutely.
their people there are so lovely.
It
Like I just
was
can't,
yeah.
And
They're
I
just
know you
very
want to go
beautiful
day by
people.
day, but I feel like we did so much that
I
it's all
know.
coming out in like bits.
So, when we went so Botswana, we had, an amazing safari at Chobe National Park, which we had with the best guide on earth, OT. OT is short for on time. And let me tell you, this motherfucker was always on time. He would see a lion and hear and see a paw on the ground, and he'd be like, that way. And we would get there before the fucking animals would. He
Dude,
would be
that one time
parked.
where we parked and he caught the two lions. He knew what he was doing. I mean, he was amazing. But we're watching the lions
Yeah.
come from behind. I was like,
The
how the fuck
dad
did he do
was
that?
chasing the younger males away because he had a kill and he was eating, and then the boys kinda sniffed around a little too much to see moms, and they were like, "Uh-uh," and then he
Bye.
that dad chased those 2, and we were, like, in the thick of it, like Fast and Furious, like, right in the middle,
And remember the
and
sound too, Danielle? Like
bro,
you
and then
could
somebody
hear
hit us. One of the fucking these motherfuckers there what we got rear-ended on safari. Me and Tito were sitting there minding our own goddamn business. Next thing you know, fucking hit from behind. I don't even know who you call. I can't call Morgan and Morgan for that,
Well, the best was I thought I'd be taken out by an animal, not another fucking safari truck.
right?
That's how
Like,
I
the
felt.
lions were, like, a fucking 4 feet from us.
And I was less scared of them than the people in the other trucks.
Oh
What
my
was
god.
crazy cool though too is not only there's how many would you say like between 20 and 30 of these
Oh, yeah.
things going on, right?
Oh, yeah.
But the coolest thing was watching the National Geographic truck because
Oh, yeah, there was, like, a
we were a part
documentary
of that.
crew.
There was a documentary going on with cameras. Like the freaking thing was like the
It was, like,
lenses were
mounted on the car. It looked like a
holy
spaceship.
shit. Holy shit. And then I do have to share one of my favorite Danielle moments was we're sitting now we were at the very top. So just picture these safari vehicles kind of are tiered, right? Like stadium seating. We get to the top and to me it's her trick. She's getting the best spot. I will take a bitch out, which I had to once, but that's a whole other side story. I'm like, she gets the best spot. So she's to my left. I have this lovely woman to my right. I'm in the middle. And OT goes, don't move, don't talk.
Guide is telling us to sit down, shut the fuck up.
And Danielle proceeds to do this.
I had my camera in my hands, and I then proceeded to that went in one ear
Oh,
and right out the other. The ADHD was just
dude, it
too
was the best
much,
shit. So
right?
I
So
grabbed
I had the
my
camera
legs.
in my hand, and I hear him, and I'm like, still for like .6 seconds, and then I turn around, and I'm snapping pictures left and right. She digs her nails into my leg. She was like, "Don't move."
Oh my God, that is exactly because it's in the video. Here I'm recording and I hear myself, Danielle, don't move. And I mean, mom grip, bitch. I had my nails so deep inside your legs. I'm like, how do I fucking explain to your kids and your husband that you got eaten by a lion because you didn't sit still? How do I tell them that?
Literally the story of my life.
Fucking and that lion was, what would you say? Like 6 inch. I swear to God, it
He
was right
from the truck itself, a foot, 2
there. It
feet.
was
It
crazy.
was insane, like, insane. And then we saw a leopard.
Don't get me started. So here's the
She's
deal,
gonna
guys.
say she called it a jaguar the whole time. I was like, "No, those are in Florida."
Here's the deal. I'm
Leopard.
I'm a Jersey girl. I
One of
just
the
know
big
it's like
5.
prints because that's what I wear. But like I was like cheetah, jaguar. I don't fucking know. I knew the zebra. The other ones not so much.
The other ones, I don't know.
That freaking thing was beautiful.
Oh my
Beautiful. Oh
god.
my God.
To see her climb a tree like
She
that.
also knew she was beautiful because I'm certain, your fans have seen the pictures. She was on a branch, literally showing off. I'm like, that bitch knows that she
Yeah.
is
Oh,
a
yeah. She was
freaking
like,
amazing animal. Yeah, it was crazy cool. And then I did ruin something for Danielle. I'll own it. So we're in this now. Just picture this safari is in. Part of it is like very sandy. Part of it is like very clay like, and you're in their habitat. Like this is not a zoo. This is
"Oh, yeah,
they
no."
come from all over. You could be minding your business, looking at the left.
Oh, now I know what you're talking about. I was like, "What
Yeah.
the fuck?"
So we're on our way, kind of exiting the safari or the park, and this beautiful herd, right? They called them of elephants. Is it a herd?
Maybe a pack?
A pack. I forget. They all have different
I
names.
don't know. There was a couple of them.
And one wanted to get really close to Danielle. So they told us numerous times that their ears, not that they're just big to be big, they pick up even the
The tiniest.
slightest sound.
And actually, they pick up low and quiet sounds, like whispers, more than us just
They're
talking.
just talking. So Danielle's ready. She's got her camera. This fucking elephant is literally making eye contact with her, coming closer. And like the asshole I am, I proceed to go, oh my God. And the elephant, on a dime, turns
It's
and
like,
walks away.
"Nope." And then OT later on was like, that elephant had they not heard anything, probably would have come over to the vehicle and touched one of us.
Oh, but this was me. I'm
I
like,
would have died.
oh, well, I think I would have had a fucking flat out heart. I would have just taken my old ass and just spit me out.
I'm just
But I
living
felt
here in the
so bad.
safari.
I literally had like freaking Italian guilt for like a good 2 hours
Oh my
after
god.
that. It's like, God damn it.
But so we need to tell everybody about how OT really is the
Oh my
OG,
God.
right? So we're on this safari, and the lady that was sitting next to Tina,
Just sweet.
her phone died somewhere along the line, and she had put it in her bag, and um, I guess somewhere along the way, a bump or something, the phone had fallen out of the Jeep. It was gone. It was
She didn't
in the
realize
safari.
when it
We
was.
didn't, yeah.
Oh, it was horrible.
So, we're trying to, like, use Find My iPhone, but the phone's dead. There's
Yeah.
no service anywhere.
Yeah. The giraffes weren't holding up
We didn't
the,
have a signal. So, OT turns around and he starts retracing where we've gone in the park. We are like 5 minutes into looking for this phone. I look like Ace Ventura hanging out the side of the butt
And the
on
poor
one
woman
side.
is crying because she's like, all my grandkids' pictures are, oh, it broke my heart.
Yeah.
She was so sad.
So he comes to a stop, right? Just randomly in the middle of the road and goes, "Found it."
That was all he said. There was no, I was like, found it in the middle of an entire,
Very
what?
nonchalantly. And there was her phone, and he goes, "We have lost phones, passports, all of the things on safari." And he goes, "You wanna know how many things we find?" None.
So you did say, though, as upset as that sweet woman was, you kept going, this happens on my trips. I
It does.
promise you we'll find it.
Mhm.
And I have to tell you, I didn't think we would, because the amount of vehicles that go up and down, back and forth. When you're doing
On
these
these
safaris,
sand roads.
yeah, like these are very sandy roads to the point that they have to lower the tire pressure
Mhm.
and the air pressure in there so that they can drive around without sinking. And there's a lot of them. But they all were calling each other too, which I thought
Oh,
was so
yeah, as we were
cool.
driving through every different Jeep we came across, they would tell them, spread the
She was
word.
so excited. And he literally gets out of his car, gets out of the little thing, picks it up, literally goes,
Blows
just
it off and hands it to her.
like, what is happening
He
right now?
got a great tip.
He did.
He got an amazing tip.
He, and he's now one of our personal friends. So
Yeah, no, OT's I got OT on WhatsApp.
yeah, he's amazing. And his knowledge of the animals was fucking mind-boggling. Like, he cut people off because he knew what their patterns are.
Mhm.
It was crazy, dude. It
We
was,
also, saw the remnants of poachers when we were
oh,
in the park that day.
oh,
We had driven down onto the water, where the river is, the Zambezi River, and, there were human footprints, which is not allowed in the park. You're not allowed to get out of your vehicle, so there should be no human footprints. And, he said that the poachers will, swim across at night.
I
He
can't
goes,
imagine how dangerous that is.
"Right?
Like,
I would not get the fuck
freaking
in that water.
hippos and
I
shit
saw
in
what was in there.
there.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a no for me, dog. There's fucking hippos, crocodiles,
Yeah.
fish. Fuck no.
Oh, yeah, no, thank you.
No." So, yeah, they come across and he goes, "If you hear a gunshot, they'll be gone in 6 minutes with what they want."
Mm. I have to tell you, that was something, even at the airport, Danielle, as we were leaving,
Yeah.
to watch some of these motherfuckers checking guns that
Guns.
were probably the size of my car. Listen, I come from a family of hunters. Like, hunting is a huge part of my growing up, and hunting for the sake of providing for your family and eating the meat is part of the world. It's what people do. Killing an innocent animal so that you could say you did it because it's one of the top five, or the big five as they call it, is fucking disgusting.
It is,
So I just want
and
to say that.
when we were in line leaving on the last day, watching all of them, you could see all of our group seething
Oh,
in their own hate, watching these people check all of their not only because it fucking held the line up like a
God,
fucking
forever.
motherfucker. How long does it take you to check your fucking small dick gun? Like, seriously, bro.
That's how I
It shouldn't
felt.
take 45 fucking minutes. Let's step this fucking
I
process
swear
up.
to God, Danielle, I felt like the bigger the fucking box they had for the gun, the smaller their dicks must have been. It was, and they all were like
Womp womp.
middle-aged, pathetic ass people. Like,
Yeah.
and all I can hope is that one day one of those animals gets them. I'm just saying,
Mhm.
because karma's a little bit of a
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, can we also say what happened when somebody needed to use the bathroom on the safari? What was my response to that? Do you remember?
No.
We're in the
No.
safari, lions, zebras, elephants, and one of the women goes, "I have to pee." So, I'm me. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? Where do you want to pee? Next to
Right.
where the lion is feeding on a dead carcass?
Like, there's not exactly an outhouse, but apparently there
Oh,
was.
apparently there was. So she proceeds to get out. I was like, you can all go fuck yourselves. I'm
I'm
not
not
getting
getting out
out.
of this thing. I didn't get out either.
Dude, it's like, I will literally hold it till the very last day. There's
Yep.
no chance. No.
Absolutely not. Not doing it. Not happening.
But that fucking safari was amazing. The first lioness that I saw, because that was what we first saw, was the lioness. And she was right behind us. And I just burst out crying. I just felt so emotional that we're in their
Space. It's
space.
a really beautiful
It's
thing,
an
and
honor.
I got
Yeah.
a lot of questions on, like, TikTok and stuff from people asking, how close, how safe. These are wild animals.
Yeah.
These are animals living in the wild in their element.
Yeah.
They are not this isn't a petting zoo. This
Fuck.
is National Geographic. This is the wild,
Yeah.
you
And they're
know,
very proud of it too, Danielle. Like the people of Botswana, the people that are part of that park, OT, all of them, it is freaking amazing that they get to be around these animals, but they're
oh,
also very
yeah.
protective, right?
They're
So
very hyper aware of what
so aware. So we saw a lot of elephants, and I fell in love with all the elephants. But you saw that they were skinny, right? And they were
yeah, there
saying
were
how
some
they're going to probably lose. I think they had said between 300 and 500 elephants this year, where it's normally about 100 to 200.
because of the drought.
It's so drought driven, and it breaks your heart, right? Because now you're watching them. They have their babies. They have their families, right? They have their little pods of family to take care of. So it really put in perspective, like that you're not just at some zoo, man. Like you're
No.
literally watching them survive and get through droughts, get through, the circle of life, lack of better words. They
Yeah.
got have to witness that. I was a little
There
scared.
were there were a couple elephants that OT said, that one
Yeah.
probably won't make it through the season.
Yeah, which I know is part of the circle of life, but
Yeah.
they're just such majestic animals. It was
Oh,
freaking.
yeah. And that brings me to our tent camp.
Oh
Because
my god.
that a lot of people were like, "Are those wild animals?" Yes.
Yep.
We stayed our last, like, out in the bush activity, was us staying, um, in Wangé National Park, which, is in Zimbabwe. This was the tent camp that we stayed at, which was super cool. When you think tent camp, you don't think running water, electricity, a functioning toilet, but we had all of it, hot water, showers, the whole kit and caboodle.
Drinks, food.
Um,
Yeah,
oh,
we had.
yeah, everything. We had internet until we broke their internet. We broke their internet on
No,
one of the
you
campuses.
broke their internet
I
only
mean,
because you were trying to work.
I was
Because
trying to get some work done for y'all motherfuckers, and, they were like, "Oh, yeah, no, we're out of bandwidth." I was like, "Oh, that's a thing?
I was like, I haven't heard that since like the 80s.
AOL, you've got mail."
I was dead. Your face was classic. You're like, dude, you broke their internet.
What? Oops, fuck.
Oopsies.
And we left, the internet still didn't work over there
No, because it's going to take 5 to 7 business days
for
for.
somebody to come out.
So, can we also say that when you say it's in the park, I want people to understand there's no fences anywhere. Right?
No, no.
So,
It's just an allotted area. It's
area, right?
conservation. It's government. It's a national park there,
But
but
this
there's
camp
no
is
boundaries.
no, this camp is thrown in it. There's
Down
watering
some side
holes.
roads.
Yeah, there's watering holes. It's just part of their existence. Holy shit. Please proceed with what we saw after 30 seconds there.
So we get, like, everybody's settled in, and, we go on our afternoon safari, and we come back, and we came back at the time where the sun was starting to go down. And they tell you, once you get to your room and it's dark out, you can't leave your room without an escort. You need security to come pick you up if you want to go to the area where the internet is or the pool or whatever.
Anything, yeah.
So we're like, "What? Excuse me? Security? Where are we?
And
What?"
what are you securing me from?
Yeah, what's the threat? Apparently the threat was animals,
A lot of
because we had lions and we had elephants. They said that there was a nuisance buffalo a
yeah, because
while
you need
back.
the buffaloes, yeah. So can I just share too? I want people to really understand. Like, it's not like the elephants were across the street.
No,
So Danielle and I end up in one of the tents that were on little pillars,
stilts.
like stilts, right? Which I think was just a blessing from God because I would
We
have
got
been
a
in the
suite.
position because I don't know if I could handle it. All of a sudden, my phone blings, and it's one of the amazing people on our trip, Bill.
Bill.
And this was the text: Tina, an elephant is rubbing up against my tent. And my text back was, dude, I think you're gonna need more Xanax because I don't know what to tell you.
You're gonna
So
need to be a little bit more medicated for this experience.
then the next text, Tina, I hear a lie. And I'm like, that really blows, dude. I hope you don't have any food in your fucking tent.
You better batten down the hatches, bitch.
So the people that were sleeping on the tents that are on the ground were literally having
Elephants rub against them at night.
rub against them all night. None of
Going
these,
to the watering hole. And then while they're
no,
trying to sleep, all they hear outside of their tent were the elephants playing in the water.
yeah,
Like the splashing
just
and
so
the
fucking
noises. I mean, super cool. Maybe not at 2 a.m. when you gotta get up the next day, but, like, super
yeah.
cool.
But you and I were going back to our room, right? Because we're not allowed to walk by ourselves. We're in the truck,
They
and
wouldn't even let us walk that night. They
oh, because
made
there
us
were
get
so
in the
many
Jeep.
animals. Yep, they
Yeah.
were like, nope, get in the Jeep. We're fucking minding our business, right? He's driving the Jeep. Fucking elephant, no flag, no signal, did not stop for
No
traffic.
signal!
This
Cut
mother
us off.
cut us off within a few feet. I'm like, we all
I know,
sat
we were
there
like,
like,
"Oh,
oh.
fuck." Yeah.
So needless to say, once Danielle and I were in the room, there was no moving.
That
I
was it. That's
no,
right, folks. There was no internet in our room, but we did have running water and a full bathroom and a fan that we didn't need because it was like 40 degrees overnight
yeah. So let's all make sure people understand. I never thought the words "I'm fucking freezing"
in
and
Africa.
Africa would be in one sentence.
Oh, yeah.
They start off pretty damn cold. By the end of the day, you're definitely warm. But we never expected
Once
to
the sun
be
goes back down, burr.
dude. Like we closed every single window in our tent.
Window. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
And
woke
then
up the next morning. I was like, I'm going to need more blankets. I unmade the bed. There was like 6 on the bed. I should have known then what we were getting into.
holy fuck. And if you haven't had a chance, and I'm certain that, Danielle will post it if she hasn't already, the freaking conversation that she had while she was in the bed, because,
That conversation that we recorded that night.
yeah.
When are you going back to Africa?
Mm, no.
Never. No.
And
No,
it's
I
not,
probably
I love
no,
it.
and that night, maybe that was the answer because it was a rough day. But no, I
I
loved
fucking loved it.
Zimbabwe so much. Maybe like 2028.
Listen, it's a tough travel.
It is.
It's
It's
a
a
tough
lot to get
travel.
there.
But once you're there, I
It's
want to make
amazing.
sure people get it. Like the hotels are gorgeous. Like
Oh, it
everyone we
was
stayed at, even the tent camp, like to have our guides cook their authentic meal for us.
dinner for us.
They
Yeah.
literally cooked on the barbecue, like made all these sides. I felt so honored to be sitting there and enjoying like their food,
Yeah.
their
We had
conversation.
a great
That was
discussion that night that
fucking
they cooked that
amazing.
huge meal for us about their government and the status of their economy and the dollar value there, how they prefer US dollars, the corruption, just all the things that we deal with, and you don't think that other parts of the world are getting identical things. I mean, the value of their dollar there is it
Nothing.
just continues to
Yeah.
bottom out, and they keep trying to fix it, and it's not working. Whereas you drive an hour away and you go into Botswana, and it's one of the richest countries in all of Africa.
Yeah.
So the disparity between the two is huge when it comes to the way that the governments are run. What I found most fascinating is that on two separate occasions, on two separate days, I asked our guide and our driver, who were two separate people. We had Victor and Taro with us.
Amazing.
Um,
Big shout.
I asked them both the same question, 2 different days apart, totally different times, and I got the same exact answer from both of them. So the question was, what do you guys see from the US news? And what are your opinions on Donald Trump? Their immediate reaction, both of them said the same exact thing. He never came to Africa. That's it. The amount of disrespect
Yeah.
to them in their
It was
culture.
like a mic drop for them. They're like,
That
he
was
didn't.
it. They were like, "Oh, he never acknowledged Africa. We're not gonna
We're good.
acknowledge him. He can go
Yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
himself."
Exactly.
They
And
think that he's a racist
yeah.
old fucking piece of shit who's just a horrible human.
And I love that you asked, because I know you asked a lot of people that, and it was so eye opening because obviously we're in the thick of it in
Mhm.
the US. To know what somebody from outside of our country, like their perspective of it, and to know that these people felt so disrespected that he never once, like, listen, I get we have to, it's the United States government, but we are very smart to know that there's a plethora of other
Oh,
countries.
yeah, I mean, it's
I
just
mean,
basic
let's get real.
diplomatic
Yeah.
relations.
Like, it's just so sad to me. It also was a little eye opening to hear, especially our guides say that they're worried about the future for their kids,
Yeah,
and it very much makes you think like we need to educate ourselves more with what's going on in other parts of the world. I would say the biggest
absolutely.
gift you've given me is all this travel that I've done with you is understanding, like in Costa Rica when we found out about all of their struggles there, and in Zimbabwe. I think it just helps you come back to the States with a whole different perspective and a lack of patience when that's not being fulfilled in our country.
Yeah,
Hence the upcoming voting, which
yeah.
I hope everybody is ready to rumble with
There
that.
are a lot of people that have very strong opinions. What I was most impressed of when we were overseas was that when we were in the Netherlands, I saw a girl on a bike. Only the fucking locals ride bikes.
Yeah.
And she was wearing one of the camo Harris Waltz hats.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love you, whoever you are.
It was crazy cool. It
Yeah.
was. I know we're going to need numerous episodes for Africa because
Oh,
there's so
yeah.
much other stuff
There's
to talk about.
there's
Yeah,
a lot.
it was so much. I think that as much as we both said we wouldn't go back, I can tell you that I continually look through my pictures and I just still can't fucking believe that we did what we did. I think we need a whole freaking episode on just Victoria Falls and the
Oh,
Devil.
yeah. Oh,
Like
yeah.
that's its own fucking
The Devil's Pool is
amazing.
wild. I can't believe that I
Dude,
got in that.
you were a badass for that. Yeah.
I thought I was gonna die.
Dude, what, I mean, listen, we lost one of them to a panic attack because of how scary it is. I mean, to know that this guy's holding you there by your
By my ankles.
feet, like, what are you
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Oh, our security system that you don't go over the falls is, I'm gonna hold you by your ankles.
yeah, bitch, I'm too
And then
big
we're
for
gonna
that
use this rope
shit.
to pull you back.
And I'm watching this all go down. I'm like, oh, Jesus. Like, she's not,
She's not
what
gonna
did I
make it.
do?
It's okay, my life insurance is up to date.
Yeah, well, I kind of needed to bring it back, though.
Yeah, you're like, there was
make
no
some
leaving him.
deals with your
We just
kiddos.
started this podcast.
Yeah, I don't really think
RIP.
I have the ability to do this one on my own and go, so anyway, this is what she would have said if she was with us. No, I think
Well,
it's a great beginning
Yeah.
to a lot of Africa stuff. There are a lot of funnies that I'm ready to share as well.
Oh, there are so many
So I think
things.
we'll need an
Branch
episode.
manager.
Oh, the branch manager. I love her.
Nicknames. The nicknames on this trip are the gift that keeps on giving. I cannot wait.
And listen,
I cannot
to
wait.
to still text these wonderful human beings and still laugh with them over the branch manager and over different things is just the best shit ever. Like it really, really is. So it was
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
awesome.
Hands down, 10 out of 10. Um, so yeah, that's gonna be, I guess, part 1 of Africa,
Yeah,
and we're
might be
just
a few
gonna
different parts. Yeah.
there's gonna be multiple
Part one.
parts. Unfortunately, I have to go pick up my small mini me from school so that we can leave to go to the Eras tour again
I
in Miami.
love that you're taking her. So I have fallen in love with her little mini me. I think she is not only a mini me look wise, because look wise, Jesus, like
Oh my
they were
god, she stole my face.
identical, but what a little badass your daughter is.
Oh my
Like,
god.
oh my God, to think at her age, she has figured shit out that took me until my fucking early 50s to figure out. Speaks volumes to
Oh, she's
how,
got it together.
dude, I don't want to give up too many of her secrets, but she's my fucking idol, this one. Like, I was like, well, hot
I did
damn,
good.
look
I
at
did
you.
good.
So you did good.
Created a monster.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be fun for you, but my
No.
gosh, you're just fine in life.
Or whatever guy she's gonna fuck his world up one day.
So what I would like to do is when a guy comes around, I would like to just have maybe like a 30-second disclaimer, just so he has the opportunity to get the fuck out.
To
Listen,
run.
this is
This is the warning label.
it's a warning label. Now, if you choose to stay, then you can't bitch. You can't complain. But you did an awesome job. I'm so excited you guys are going to go see Taylor Swift again.
I'm
That's so
excited that she gets
cool.
to share this one with dad. So,
And you guys are
this
getting
is
all dressed up. I can't wait to see it all.
yeah.
I'm
Oh, I
you know,
just hope it got a little chilly here. I'm hoping that it's warmer in South Florida because if not, I'm gonna freeze in my outfit because I
bring
was
that
prepared
fucking
for hot.
bring that fucking hat that we wore all over Amsterdam. And thank God you brought more than one hat.
Winter
Because
hats, man.
who knew I needed a fucking winter hat and
I did.
yeah.
I knew.
All my cute little outfits, I'm like, can't wear that, can't wear
I
that.
told you it was sweater weather.
It was sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather. But I want you guys to have a fucking blast.
Well,
Continue telling our stories and
I'm very excited for the jump off of this project and yeah, now that we're back to actually having technology that works, we will
yeah.
be on a weekly schedule.
And to let everybody know, we have a plethora of topics.
Oh, tons.
Like we literally sat on was it a 16-hour flight from
14
Doha?
from
14,
Doha.
however the
Yeah.
fuck. We sat there for half the flight just coming up with topics. So
Well,
you
because
guys
the Wi-Fi only worked for like 2 hours.
those mother effers, dude. Like, come on.
It'll
And
come back on.
yeah, and
It'll come back on.
if I had to see one more person get up to use the bathroom, like,
Oh my god, I've never seen a line for the bathroom on a plane the way that fucking plane bathroom was continuously fucking occupied. And by the time we were like 8 hours into it, it was covered in piss. I don't know what happened in there. I don't know what old man missed, but I must have went in there immediately following that because there was piss everywhere.
You look
I
so
honestly was so confused as to whatever happened.
When you came back to the seat, you looked so sad. You were just like, oh, fuck was that?
Fuck.
I'm like, I'm
God
sorry.
Damn it. Are we all adults here?
So this just is a precursor of how much shit we have to talk about because you and I spent a lot of time.
I could have a TED talk about that flight back. The last flight.
Dude, that flight was not for the faint of heart. And if I had to fucking give up one more water bottle at those motherfucking airports, somebody was going to go down.
How many times do we have to go through security?
Like whore bags. You put me through security when I first got there. You put me through another level of security after you Like,
and then why does the gate have its own security? Never in my life have I seen that shit.
Oh my God. And then we were herded like cattle, like zone 1, zone 2. Again, I know you got to go, but please remind me to share what happened when we tried to board the plane, where that lady kept coming out going, zone 1,
zone 2,
zone 1,
boarding group.
And then Tina snaps and goes, Jesus Christ, you have all of zone 1.
We literally boarded the plane for them when we were in Johannesburg. We were like, okay, we're gonna need you to fucking speed this shit up. We gotta get on it. Like, I don't know what's happening here. These ladies that we picked up, like a group of like women that I don't even know where they were going.
They were from India, and they were living their best life with us because
they were cracking up.
They literally stood behind us. They're like, go, do what you gotta do. I'm like, this poor fucking bitch from the airport. I'm like, dude, we've been on zone 1 for 35 minutes. Like, let it go. Like,
can we get to the third zone? Because by the time I fucking get on the plane, if my overhead bin space is taken, I'm moving someone's shit. I don't give a fuck. If it's over my seat, it's my bin. Fuck off. It's not my problem you brought 3 fucking bags with you. The size of suitcases people bring on as carry-ons is fucking offensive at this point. That is a checked bag, ma'am. If you can't lift that shit up into the overhead bin your goddamn self, you don't fucking belong having it on the plane. Check it.
So, does everyone see what's happening? This is the Tasmanian devil, who I fucking adore, because when she's done, it is fucking mic drop. It's the cutest thing, because there were bags above our. She looked around. Whose are these? Get them. Whose are these?
You better fucking move your bag, or else you're never finding it, because I'm gonna move it.
This grown ass man, tail between his legs, like, sorry about that. Let me get it.
And then Tina fucking cold-cocked a guy with her bag trying to get it into the overhead bin. And then he had the audacity to look at her. And she was like, you're lucky I didn't do it harder.
I'm like, are you still looking? Because he kept looking back. I'm like, are you not fucking done?
Do you want me to hit you again? Say it 3 times, bitch. Say it.
We were a little cranky.
On that flight, yeah. The flight home is always the worst, especially when you have to be in the air or in airport or in route for 45 hours. Anybody loses your mind.
Plus, you don't give us internet after we paid for it. Like, how many fucking movies could you watch? So we were definitely cranky. And once we got to JFK, the both of us were just like, hence why you puked. Let's all be honest. Like, we literally had been traveling for what felt like 82 years.
I had been gone for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was a lot.
That was too much. Living out of a fucking suitcase with clothes that, like, you got your safari clothes, you got your these clothes, you got
my winter clothes from Amsterdam. It was a lot.
That was a lot. But you are a fucking rock star, and
I survived barely.
You're a boss.
Yeah, I survived long enough to come home for one weekend, right? This weekend, which I'm not even home. I'm in Miami with my family. And then I'm out, back out on the campaign trail.
You got your campaign trail, but you also, I'm going to give you a little plug. You have a boatload of trips coming up that people can jump on. What we talk about on the podcast is shit anybody can be a part of. Yeah. Like, let me tell you something. You want to be a part of this cray? Like, it is the coolest.
Just show up.
Just fucking show up. Like,
just show up to one of the trips.
Literally, it's like she just grabs everybody like this. We become like a little posse of people and stories you'll never forget. So go check out her.
It was so funny because people on this trip were like, you're just like you are online.
Sure the fuck are.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah, and that's why
I can't pretend to be somebody else.
Could you imagine?
How exhausting would that be for me? Could you imagine pretending to be this?
And then how would you and I function? We're both like so authentically ourselves that we just feed off each other. I'd be so sad. No, you got to stay perfect just the way you are.
Yeah, no. Got to keep this going.
Well, dude, go have a great time, man.
Even though we tried to say bye to you 20 minutes ago, thank you for hanging out with us for another 20 minutes. Yeah. Sorry, Austin. My apologies. Thank you for joining in for Oz After Dark. I'm your host, Chasing Oz, and this is my best bitch, Tina.
Guys.
Until next time.